Hello again and welcome to Shed Talk, my weekly magazine video series looking at the keeping, breeding and showing of cage birds, with a particular focus as usual on the exhibition style Budgerigar. This is going to be another slightly shorter episode than usual, mainly because again I've got a few work commitments that mean that I've got less time in the shed to film. So what I thought I'd do in this episode is to just look at what's going on in those final few Budgerigar breeding cages. We've got a few chicks that we need to ring, so we will be looking at doing that. And then there is a surprise in cage number 6 that we will look at in there. So that's my plan for this episode. Thanks, before we do that, thanks for all those who took the time to watch the last video. A particular thank you to those of you who hit the like button. Don't forget, all the likes help the channel, certainly promotes it a bit more widely on YouTube. And again, a big thank you to those of you who took the time to comment on the last video and some of the slightly older videos, which is always quite handy. I had a very nice comment from someone who was doing a studying Mendelian genetics at high school, and said how my series on the colour genetics in Budgerigars was helping with that. So I put the name on the bottom of the screen with the person who did that, because I don't have the name with me at the moment. So a big thank you for that kind comment about how that was helping you. If you've not seen that series, there is a series on the channel that looks at the how the various genetic colours, or the colours in Budgerigars, react genetically. So and there is also a PDF, free PDF that you can download if you want to have a look at that as well. Anyway, like I say, a big thank you to all of those of you. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, then please do subscribe. All the subscriptions will help me. And don't forget, if you enjoy this video or any other video, please do give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to comment. Right, let's get on, and we'll start in cage number 1, where we've got another chick to ring. So this is cage number 1, which has the redeye in it, as I'm sure you're fully aware. And we can see her here. I say he because it definitely is a female, just because of the way the genetics in the redeye birds work. So it's going to be a Lutino, judging from the yellow on the feathers. I think you can all see there are yellow on the feathers. So there we go, our first of the season. We did ring that one a little while ago. Ring's still nice and clean actually, which is very surprising. We do have another chick to ring in here, which is this one here, which is not a redeye, so I'm sure you can tell. So we will ring this one, and as you can see, the third chick is also hatched in there. Interestingly enough, I'm right at the end of my rings, so this is going to be the last one with a 2025 ring on it. The others will unfortunately have to have an older ring on it, because there is going to be only 3 more birds or 2 more birds to ring, and I really don't want to order more rings just for those, or I didn't want to order all more rings just for those last couple of birds. And in fairness, if they're this late in the breeding season, then of course it's unlikely that we will that they're going to go out and show as a young bird for in this year's show season, because they'll just be they won't be able to compete this late bred. Right, well, let's get a ring on this one then. Ooh, get rid of that bit of muck. I've spoken quite a lot about ringing birds and why we ring them and all that. So if you're unsure, new to the channel, please go back and have a look about the ringing of Budgerigars, or any bird in particular, and why we ring them. But on the subject of the older rings, of course I do keep a record of the ring number and the bird, and the fact that I'm ringing it with an older ring won't make any real difference. It will have my ring number on it, so I can still show it in the any age class, and get awards for you know, should I be fortunate enough to get an award for the bird, for that particular bird. Just checking the legs on this one, they do look a little bit, no, I think they're going to be okay. She shouldn't be having too many problems. And the last of the chicks to hatch is also a normal, or I say, or a non-red eye. This one here. Does look like he's struggling a little bit. I will keep an eye on that. Jumps his legs. Right, as I say, so I can, just because I'm putting a, so this bird here, for example, will have a non, or will have an old ring on it. I've actually got some old rings from 2019, which are black, so the same colour as this year, so that will help me remember. But as I say, so in my records it will show the ring number as being 2019, but actually my records will also show its date of birth, or date of hatching, should we say. So I will know that it is a young bird from my records, rather than thinking that it's going to be a 2019 bred bird. Which in the first year clearly I will be able to know that that's not the case, but going forward it will be, it might be a little bit more difficult as they get older. And of course, if I do decide to move a bird on, I will need to, I suppose, demonstrate to the person I'm selling it to that it is a young bird. Right, there we go, that's that one. I will put this back away. We will then have a look, talk a little bit briefly about cage number 2, and then we'll move on to cage number 4, where we've got another bird to ring, but actually after we've rung it, it's going to go into this cage, or into this nest box, and I'll talk about that when we come to talk about that bird that I'm ringing. Right, let's put these back. Right, well, this is the chick from cage number 4, but very briefly, so cage number 2 has now been split, so we've only got the hen in that cage. She did call for a little while to her partner, or our ex-partner, who is now in the flight, but she still does it occasionally, but not quite so much as before. So they're now split, and she will just have a sit in that breeding cage for probably about another week, just have a rest, and then we'll pop her back into the main flight. So cage number 4, so this pair only produced one chick, and the chick is here, so doing really well from the looks of it. Looking at the eyes, I would say that it's going to be a cinnamon. You can see they're not quite as dark as a normal, so it's probably going to be a cinnamon. And given that the parents of this bird, then that's not really surprising. But having only one chick, and we know that sometimes they won't look after a single chick as much as they would look after if they've got more than one chick in the nest. So just in terms of the way they get bored with just feeding a single chick. So my plan with this chick is, once I've rung it, I'm ringing it now, like I say, I'm ringing it with an old ring, a 2019 ring. So once I've rung it, is I'm going to pop it into the nest box with the 3 chicks in it, giving them a total of 4 chicks. So that isn't going to be too many for that pair to bring up, and they're feeding those really well, so it's not like there's a problem with feeding. And it also then means that I can actually split the pair in cage number 4 and bring that cage to a close as well. So I'm going to just pop this into that other nest box. Now, how will the hen feel in this cage, not having any chicks to look after? Bear with me, I'm just getting the other nest box out. So here's a nest box with the 3 chicks in there. I will pop this chick into here as well. There we go, it's in there with those. Luckily, Budgerigars can't count, so she won't notice that there's an extra chick in there. I mentioned before I did it after ringing, just so I know which is the odd chick out in there, and that meant that the I know where that chick came from, given that there's two that are at very similar age. I mean, they look quite different now, but as I get older, I might lose track of which is which. I'm now going to start removing these eggs. The hen, I mentioned about the hen and losing that chick. She may struggle a little bit initially, but they're not, they're not humans. So they will, if a chick dies in the nest box, they'll very quickly just leave it and push it to one side. They don't spend an awful lot of time worrying about that particular, the fact that the chick's missing. So she will very quickly calm down with it, know it's gone, and then what I will do in about 2 days is remove the cockbird from here, just so that it's not too much of a stress, losing the chick and her partner. And then I will close the next box and bring that particular nest to a close. Right. The final cage then is cage number, sorry, we then got two other cages, not final cage. We've got cage number 5, again we split that pair, so she's just on her own in there. But we'll have a quick look at what's going on in cage number 6. So this is a nest box from cage number 6, and as you can see, we have another egg. Now I was planning to split this pair, and I think in the last episode I said the hen had destroyed all of the eggs, and it was almost a day after that we'd removed those, or the remainder of the eggs had been removed. I didn't split them straight away, and I also didn't shut the nest box up straight away, which was probably my error. However, the hen almost started laying again. So given, and I said it in the last episode, given that the cockbird is a fairly oldish cockbird, if he has managed to fill this last round, I didn't want to just destroy it. So I am going to let the hen continue laying. If these are clear, I'm just going to remove the cockbird straight away. But if there are, if they're full, I will let them bring this round up, and it will be the only pair that I will have down, other than the ones that are, or cage number 1, that will be feeding chicks. So yeah, a bit of a surprise. Wasn't really expecting it, given how long this hen had taken and the fact that she didn't seem interested in going back down again. And then just suddenly started going in the nest box and laying, which was a bit of a surprise to me. Right, I'll put this one back, and that is probably all of the cages now brought up to, you're up to date on all of the Budgerigar cages. Like I said, we will look at the other cages or the fifes in the next episode. We're not going out there in this episode just because I really do not have that much time to record. Right, that's all the budgies then. Well, that brings us to the end of a slightly shorter episode of Shed Talk. I hope you did enjoy that. If you did, please do give us another big thumbs up, as I said at the beginning, and don't forget to comment on anything you've seen, and of course please do subscribe. Right, but until the next one, as always, do stay safe, do your bird.